¿Qué pasó, guys? Welcome to this video where we're gonna be reviewing episodes 2, no, 3 and 4 of Solo Leveling. And before we jump right into the video, I would like to, have a disclaimer. Of course, every YouTuber does this, and I know it's annoying, but I gotta do it if I want to make it on this platform. So if you guys like the video, hey, do me a favor, leave a like and subscribe. And if you enjoy the video, there will be more at the end of the video. So yeah. To start off, episode 3 basically starts off from where we left off from episode 2, right? Sung is training again with the same guy that he was in the car with at the end of episode 2. His friend, I think, is Jinwoo or something like that. He's the rich kid whose dad is also a guild leader, right? He's training. That he's just leveling up. Pretty boring stuff to start off the episode. Not that bad though, but I wouldn't really say it's the most exciting thing. We then jump later on, right after going through that, we jump back to Dong-soo, I think, where Dong-soo is basically going back to America because they found. Well, but before that, right, we find a man that's beaten up a bunch of American hunters, and they're all screaming for life, for their lives. And this man is trying so hard to communicate that he's not a monster, that he's a hunter, and that he wants to go home. Right? That's what led Dong-soo to go back to the United States. Right? We find out later that this man is Il Sung. Right? Obviously, we know just by the name that he's Jinwoo's dad. Right? And things get heated when Dong-soo and him meet later in the episode, right? But then we jump to Jinwoo basically going to the basically telling his sister that he's gonna be gone for about a week. He then goes into the dungeons, into the hell dungeon that he was in, like the tower with 100 floors. He basically spends the entire episode fighting badass monsters. It has a lot of fight choreography, all kinds of things, right? I recall during the episode, he beats this giant ogre who somehow, for being a big fat tub of lard, he can move quickly. Like, I've never seen a monster move as quickly as this monster, but holy, for lack of a better word, because I don't want to get pushed in the algorithm, I'm not gonna curse, but he moves like a damn truck, like fast. I've never seen a monster that big fast, but he was almost catching up to Jinwoo's speed during the episode. That was intense. Jinwoo defeats him by doing this nice little backflip by making the monster run into the building in the zone. He smashes it and Jinwoo bounces up and then slams and cuts him, thus beating the monster. So the whole episode is just Jinwoo going up floors. The monster that I was talking about, right? It was, I think, the level 50 boss, right? Because Jinwoo, the whole episode is like a montage of Jinwoo just beating monsters after monsters, leveling up, right? And from there on, we jump back to Dong-soo again, right? Where Dong-soo meets Il and starts interrogating him about, like, is he sure that he's not a monster, and how can a monster have a wife and 2 kids, right? He then inquires if he knows his son's name, and Il says Jinwoo, right? Il knows there's something up with Dong-soo, because Dong-soo was very highly aggressive this episode. This man just, even in the manga, this man is highly aggressive, right? He ends up egging him on to the point where Il gets mad, super pissed. Like, this man was emanating yellow aura levels of pissed that Dong-soo was threatening his family, right? He was threatening his wife and kids, and Il did not take that lightly, right? And so Il beats the ever-living shit out of this man so hard that he tore down the building. We find a scene where he's just like on top of rubble, with the whole building in the American city just crumbling and on fire there's a firefighters fighting, and Il Wong is gone, right? But Dong Soo got his ass whooped that episode. Whooped. I hope you might like. I hope it humbles him, but like knowing episode 4 that I'm also gonna review, like let's just say this man never learns, right? At that same episode, we have like little dialogue about the ants, the ant island in Jeju, right? We know that that's gonna be a future thing, right? So of course they're gonna mention it. They're talking about how the ants, because in that same episode we have a nice little fan service of Chayin, who's swimming in the pool. She's in a nice like one piece swimsuit. Of course they're gonna have to put. Of course you can't have an anime without fan service, right? And Cheyenne just gives that in spades. Beautiful, right? She then gets out of the pool, has this flashback, talking with her guild master, and she asks the guild master why they're keeping the ant situation secret from the public. The guild master, Glasses Man, I don't remember his name, so forgive me. I'm not really good with Korean pronunciations, so I'm just calling him Glasses Man for short, right? So Glasses Man basically tells her, look, we couldn't because the association, the Korean Hunters Association, told us not to, right? We have no choice. So we live off with that in that episode. Then, if I recall, right, the episode ends with what's his name? Sungwoo clearing the 75th floor after beating a monster with by having getting distracted by his army. His army of shadows beat the hell out of that monster's things, and he just stands on top of his throne and cuts him and beats him. So that's how that episode ends. Episode 4 jumps off with Jinwoo. Wait, hold up. Before we jump into episode 4, I'm gonna rate episode 3. Considering the animation level was fantastic, story beats were cool. There were good fights. It wasn't boring at all. There was the fan service. I think I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. That episode was really good and did a really good job following up episode 2, where we had amazing fights too. Like these first 3 episodes so far, bro, are bangers after banger after banger. It hits, man. Like they're doing the Solo Leveling Animation Studio is doing a great job. I don't know the name right now. I'll edit the name of the studio in because I can't think of it at the top of my head, but they're doing a great job. So going on to episode 4. Episode 4 starts off with, of course, Jinwoo, after defeating the 75th boss, he's leaving the gate, right? He starts to contemplate and thinking, oh, I can't keep hiding my strength, right? He's saying that he's having a hard time, like, still being a rank E, and that he can no longer just keep his strength hidden, right? So he decides to take the reassessment test, and that's what the episode jumps right into after the opening. On a side tangent, I think the opening for this season is alright, right? I think it's like a 7 out of 10 for me. I'm not a big fan of this opening compared to last season's opening, season 1. Season 2's opening is, how do I say this? It's not as catchy. It doesn't have as good of a rhythm as season 2's. I mean, as season 1's. My bad. So yeah, I don't really like it. So continue. Sorry for the tangent. Sung Jin-woo heads to the association and gets his reassessment, and of course they're one of the guys from the White Tiger Guild, Bayek's Guild, alerts Bayek that he's there, right? So Sung Jin-woo enters, gets in line, does the process. He then touches the orb, the reassessment orb, right? That's where he finds out what is new reassessment. He touches it, and for some reason, the machine is malfunctioning, right? And the woman administering the machine is like, "What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry, but it looks like the machine is broken." And she calls over the dude. The dude comes in and checks, and then tells her, "Wait, the machine's not broken. It's just that this man's magic is so out of range that this machine can't read it. Meaning this man is an S rank, right? Because if he was an A rank, the machine would still be able to read that. just Sung Jinwoo is so damn strong that the machine can't even uh, register his magical power, right? So after that, they tell him that he's gonna have to come back later, and because the machine they don't have the right equipment to fully, and analyze him, so he'll have to come back later. Uh, Everybody around him is whispering, "Oh my god, is it true that this guy's the 10th S rank?" Which is like a huge thing, right? Sun Jin Woo, after this reevaluation, came out to the world as the 10th S rank. Of course, it hasn't come out to the full public yet, but the people around there already know that there's now another S rank. Um, Ironically, we have Glasses Man running in as Sung Jin Woo is gonna leave. Sung Jin Woo sees him, and Glasses Man admires Sung Jin Woo, and he says, "Oh, so that's what was causing the commotion because he heard the commotion about the someone getting a high power level." He sees Sung Jin Woo's aura and is impressed by it, and he starts to introduce himself. Sung just straight up walks by and says, "Look, I'm sorry, I don't have time," and then he walks by, which baffles Glasses Man. Glasses Man turns around and talks to the guy that works for the Hunters Association, the evaluator, uh, and tells him, "Did I tell him who I am?" It hurt his ego, bro. Like, it fucking hurt his ego. He's like, "Didn't I tell him who I am, dog? Why would he do me like that?" And that just shows how badass and how cool Sung Drip Woo is. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, "I don't care who you are." Just walks straight by him. Just ignores his ass, right? Bike comes in a few minutes later after Sung left because he disappears on them, and they're all surprised. They're like, "Oh god, he's fucking gone." Bike comes in, tired as fuck, and exasperated, and he's not even there anymore. That was funny. From there, we jump to a scene where Sung is in the hospital by his mother's bedside. He's just contemplating about how about her, right? And he tells her that as he leaves the hospital bed after spending his time with her, that he will cure her, right? That he will get her back, get her healthy. But he needs to level up and get ready to take on the next 25 floors, because as we saw, he defeated 75 floors of that dungeon, right? From there, among leaving the hospital room, he runs into the administrator guy again, the evaluator, sorry. And the evaluator tells him, "Look, I know I can't stop you, right? Because Sung asks him if they're now like keeping vigilance on him. Am I being treated as a criminal?" And he says, "No, we're not treating you as a criminal at all. We're just, keeping track of, even if we could, we couldn't stop you because you're an S rank, right?" So he says, "But there is someone I want you to meet." And that's where we're introduced to the association director, Go Gun-hee, right? And Go Gun-hee is like, among seeing Go Gun-hee, Jinwoo is like surprised by this man's strength. Jinwoo even goes out of his way to say, "This man is as strong as I am," which is a huge compliment, because Sung Jin-woo is stronger than most, I think, some S ranks at this point in the story. And to say that the association director has as much power as him is a huge compliment for him, right? They start talking. The director tries to, of course, convince him to join the association, because he talks about how the guilds used to are keeping powers, so they're only allowed to have like 1 or 2 S ranks, right? And he says that he wants the association to be a part of that balancing of power in Korea, so he wants Sung to join the association. Sung, of course, takes that into consideration, but he says like he could and he'd get a lot out of it, but he says no. He sadly says he has to decline because he needs to get stronger, and he even has a sick line that he says that his life belongs to the dungeons, right? He wants to keep being in the dungeons, like he lives in the dungeons, which is a cold line, but also it's like this dude eats and breathes fighting, bro. Like, it's a huge 180 from what he was in season 1. From there, after he rejects, the director says that he hasn't felt that excited in a long time, and he wants a drink, and he invites the director, the not the evaluator that evaluated Sung in season 1, right? From there, we go back to America. If we recall, episode 3, the dog whooping that Il Wong gave Dong Su. We find Dong Su in the hospital with casts, broken bones, bruised up face. You know, this. The fucking director, the U.S. chief comes in and talks to him, and Dong Su's like, "Did you come here to make fun of me? I know I'm under a lot of pain, but I know you didn't come here to laugh at me." And he's like, "No," but he asked Dong Su asks if they found him. The Wong, he says no, but we're chasing after him. But he tells him honestly, I don't even think we can beat him if he beat you, right? And of course, like I mentioned in a few minutes ago, this motherfucker, right? This is the only time I'm gonna drop that. This dumb ass idiot did not learn his lesson. You'd think after getting annihilated that he'd be like, you know what? Maybe I should reevaluate how I treat other people. No, of course not. He sits there in bed, in the hospital bed with half fucking dead, and gets mad saying, I really lost to him because he caught me off guard. With the right fucking gear, I'll kill him. No, you won't. No, you won't. Dong Su is not gonna do shit. He then gets a flashback of Yu Wang telling him that if he goes near his family, he'll wish he was fucking dead. And that pissed off Dong Su even more. Like, Dong Su's like, was that a threat? I mean, yeah, brother, he fucking put you in the fucking dirt. Yes, that's a fucking threat. Take that threat and go home. Take your ball and go home. Why would you think it's a good idea to go after this man after he put you in the fucking hospital? It baffles me, man. It fucking baffles me how dumb Dong Su is in that episode, bro. Like, this man was in the fucking hospital. He with broken bone, full on cast, neck brace, ribs like shattered to pieces. Lucky to be alive, and he says, "I'm gonna go after him." Damn, bro. Some people let their arrogance hit them hard, bro. This man's hubris is on another level. He's gonna learn, though. He's gonna learn. Alright. To continue, we jump back to Sung. Sung realizes that he needs to level up before he goes on to take the next 25 levels. So he says that he needs to get a relic. Because after Dong Su mentions relics, we get an explanation in the episode about what relics are, which are just strong weapons that have magical attributes and higher skill levels and abilities, right? So Sung Jinwoo is looking for a new weapon, a relic, and he realizes he has no money, so he decides to join as a miner, another mission just like he did in the first 2 episodes, but this time it's by himself. He's not endangering anybody. So he joins them as a rank E to excavate. Even though he was evaluated as a rank S, and he knows he's a rank S, the system hasn't updated yet, so he's still a rank E in the system, so he takes advantage of that to then go and mine, right? So he goes and mines, and he hides because while in the dungeon, the glasses guy clears the dungeon along with Chaein, right? Chaein, the hawk girl that was in the swimsuit. She walks out. The glasses guy doesn't notice shit because Jinwoo was just like in plain sight. He doesn't notice shit. All Jinwoo just puts his hat down. Chaein then feels him and looks around because she thought she felt someone. And then Jinwoo disappears from where she thought he was, and he appears somewhere else, and he says, damn, dude, this chick is much sharper than I thought. He goes in, he starts mining. Everybody's surprised. Damn, this rank E can keep up with us, man. He's mining these things like it's nothing. He must be really strong. So after they leave him alone, the miners leave him alone. Sung Jinwoo tells him he was gonna keep mining. He then decides to run in secret to go level up in the dungeon, but then gets caught by Chaein. Chaein knew something was up, and so she finds him, caught him at the time when he was gonna pull out his dagger to go in and fight, and that's how the episode ends, right? Episode 4, honestly, good episode, just like episode 3. Another 9.5. Not many fan service, but there was a lot of exposition, a lot of continuation of the story from the comic, the webtoon, and the light novel, because it has both. Um, so at after that, yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for episode 4. Episode 3 is also 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, these two episodes were fantastic. I recommend you guys go watch them yourselves. If you guys are cool with spoilers, but if you guys want to go rewatch. You know, great. So that'll be all. Gracias, guys, for watching the video, and have a good night.